Hey everyone, a subscriber of mine told me about this guy on Instagram called Jack Whalen. Supposedly he used to eat raw meat and now he's a fruitarian.
It reminds me like a vegetable police. Let's see.
My face, raw carnivore. He has some kind of infection under his eyes. Is he implying that raw meat causes that? I've never seen that on anybody who eats raw meat. And now my face, raw vegan. He also has some kind of an infection, just less. Is there really a difference? This is another clip and here we have the answer. My face, heavy eating, grains, cooked foods, raw milk, raw meat, oil, nuts. Meaning that he wasn't...
Yeah, I get it right now. He was not only eating raw meat, but he was eating grains, cooked food, nuts. That's why. This is the why, man.
simply eating raw animals and fruits also if he craves something sweet. No, he was eating everything. Eating raw meat together with those foods is better, but you will not see the benefits of raw meat if you eat all that garbage. My face eating raw vegetarian, raw vegan, raw milk, okay. My face eating fruit. Funny. Again in the sun. You are what you eat. Changing your diet equals changing your life. That's true. I cannot disagree with that. As far as I can see
No way. Is he on steroids or something like that? He doesn't seem natural.
from his Instagram, he used to be into working out.
So this is everything I'm eating in a day to gain mass and put on size on a raw vegan diet. So I always start the day.
He used to eat a standard diet, I assume. Then he started eating some raw meat also and drinking raw milk along with the standard food, which is of course naturally not our standard food, but you understand what I mean. And then he switched to a raw vegan diet. He also ate salads and whatnot. And he still had a lot of the muscle mass, the pump, from working out, but that disappeared very quickly.
Day off with watermelon. Then before my workout, I have a shake of bananas and dates maca. And after my workout, I have a big bowl of random stuff. And
Yes, always the raw vegans imitating savory meals, meaty meals in any way they can. It's really messed up.
with that bowl, I'll be having bananas and pears. At work today, I had half a cantaloupe, some bananas, and some oranges. Finally, before bed, I had pineapple, avocado, and bananas. And then I had this tray of mushrooms, cucumbers, and peppers. I would also like to clarify that I do not eat the same thing every day. This was just one day of eating. And also, if you
Yeah, that's basically what I'm understanding, that he likes to eat everything, the rainbow and all that stuff. Yeah, that's why he eats raw meat aside with everything, and that's why it didn't work for him. So he tried to cut enough to leave the bulking process, and yeah, why not trying the fruitarian diet? Of course, you're gonna lose weight, and that's why you say that the raw vegan diet is the best, because you've lost weight and your face shape has transformed for good. But when it comes to nutrition, I don't think this is the optimal diet. You're gonna get to a point where you're gonna feel lethargic without energy if you don't add any animal product.
If you are not actively trying to gain weight, you do not have to eat anywhere near as much food as I did in this video. The only reason I'm eating like this now is to gain back the weight that I lost from fasting. If I wasn't doing this, I probably wouldn't even eat every day.
Fasting is counterintuitive, obviously. Nobody wants to starve. No animal feels like starving.
Today I'll be trying raw beef heart and raw beef liver.
Been there, done that. Let's see how it goes.
Here we go.
He's obviously already scared of trying it because of all the brainwashing.
See, there's obviously something in you that's telling you not to do that. Like, you're hesitating for a reason.
Of course, there's a few reasons. Firstly, as I said, people are simply brainwashed today. When they see raw meat, they automatically think bacteria, parasites, food poisoning, what is going to happen if I eat it. This all comes from the media and also from the school system. That's why you're automatically afraid if you see raw meat. Then, of course, most of the meat today is simply not healthy. And when it comes to organs, over 80% of organs on this earth come from over-medicated, unhealthy animals that eat unnatural food. The food is sprayed with pesticides. All of that goes inside of the animal, and then the liver filters some of that, at least tries to. Of course, you will end up having an unhealthy liver, and then if you try to eat that, should you be surprised that you gag? It's the brainwashing, plus it actually really tastes bad. I've had liver like that. It actually is disgusting. And this is coming from somebody who has been eating raw meat for almost 10 years now.
It's pretty chewy. Gagging because it tasted...
Okay, guys, by saying all what you had told us, it's not gonna motivate them to try it. So it's better to eat at least 60-70% of raw than not eat at all nothing, you know. What you have to do here is encourage your audience, not discourage it. So I encourage you to try it, even though it's from the supermarket. Later, after, you're gonna find some kind of meat that's gonna come from good source, you know. Little by little, you know. You are not expert finding some quality meat. Maybe you find yourself in a situation where you don't have tons of money because meat is a little bit pricey. So you're gonna find ways to add some more meat in a quality way, you know. And you're gonna find solutions. So why do I buy this thing instead of this? Because I don't have enough money, so I start making money and buy those kind of meats that are high quality. And yeah, find solutions. That's key. Yeah, try to eat it mostly raw. Wherever the place comes from, because you're gonna be brainwashed by giving up this fear that society has immersed into your brain, you know, that putting you. So try it, even if it's cheap, or or pricey. So it's gonna work anyways, and in the long run, because you notice little by little that's gonna be good and what's not. You have to working out, figure it out. Excuse me. Yeah, that's what you have to do.
Gross, and you know it tastes gross. You're gonna literally lie to yourself to say that it's good.
Actually, this is easier to eat than liver.
What do you mean it's easier to eat than liver? It shouldn't be hard to eat in the first place. You should enjoy.
He's right. You should enjoy the food that you eat, and it shouldn't be hard at all to eat it. But when you look at cats and dogs that grow up on cooked food, if you put raw meat in front of them, they also don't eat it simply because of the conditioning. It's also you simply being used to eating something else. And when you see raw meat, it simply doesn't look like food to you. This doesn't only apply to humans. It's like that with a lot of animals, maybe all animals, who knows. If you would do an experiment and you would never feed them what they are naturally supposed to eat, or at least if you wouldn't feed predators raw meat, only cooked meat, who knows how all of them would react to it. We can see that cats and dogs can be conditioned just like humans, except that humans are even more severely brainwashed to be afraid of it.
Eating it. No hate to anybody that be eating raw meat though, because I used to do the same thing. I've actually probably drank over 1,000 raw eggs in my life. I've drank a ton of raw milk. I've ate a lot of.
Yes, a lot of people who get into raw animal foods do consume a lot of raw milk and eggs. But when it comes to organs, usually they don't do it. And it's kind of understandable because finding healthy organs is not that easy. Ideally, you would be eating the organs of wild animals, but
Yeah, I'm not 100% agree with you, Loris. It's hard. It's difficult, really difficult to find it. So if you care of your health, you're gonna do your research. You're gonna find ways to find a good farm where he provides you with a good quality of meat, of milk. So that's your mission. If you care of your health, you have to figure it out. You have to find what's best for you. But not everybody are willing to do it. Because what? Because they are busy in the work. They are busy in the bad habits. To put it simply, they don't prioritize their health. They just worry about making money, go to the next project in the business, the company. Yeah, all of that is nonsense if you don't have health.
who has access to that nowadays, seeing as hunting is not even allowed in most countries on Earth?
Raw meat. The whole time I was eating raw meat, being unbiased now, I never liked it. I literally gaslighted myself into thinking I liked it. Like, I'd eat it and I'd gag like you did in this video.
Let me get a piece of meat. I just want to show you something. Would you actually genuinely say that this looks unappealing, unappetizing, or does it look like food to you? Could you actually say that the taste is bad? You could say that you're not used to it, and that's understandable. You're used to eating cooked meat with spices, maybe sauces, but it depends on what you eat overall. If you eat cooked food, seeds and whatnot, along with some raw meat here and there, especially muscle meat, then it's a different story. Your body never actually gets back to its natural state because you're so out of it. If you only eat some raw eggs, muscle meat, and drink raw milk, but still eat a lot of garbage, it's totally not the same. It's very different if you slaughter your own animals and actually eat them in their natural state. Or this right here. This fish, does it look disgusting, unappetizing, in any way at all? Or does it just remind you of sushi, sashimi? Do you just want to bite into it? Halibut, by the way, highly recommended.
And I'd be like, oh, bro, I'm just getting used to it. I never got used to it. It was bad the entire time. It never tasted good. I was literally...
Then I really wonder what he was eating, because this, what I just showed you, tastes really good. The fish especially, organs of course, still taste way better.
lying to myself. I wanted my beliefs to be true and right so much that I was literally going against my own senses because I wanted...
Yes, that's wrong, and maybe he really had access to bad meat. And if that's the case, then it's understandable. Maybe it really just tasted bad. Chances are that it was like that. As I said, most animals on this earth today, the farmed ones, are not healthy. Some taste alright, and when it comes to steaks, most of them will taste pretty alright. But when it comes to organs especially, you can pretty much forget about it when it comes to over 80% of livers out there.
Raw meat to be the way. It's not. Raw foods is the way. There's food in nature that tastes really good, it smells good, it's appealing, and it doesn't taste like shit, it's not a dead corpse. It's called fruit.
I agree with him. Fruits are also what we are naturally supposed to eat. We taste that they are sweet, and sweetness means that it's healthy to our senses. But you don't want to eat something sweet all the time. You also want to eat animals. Extremely intense.
Yeah, I totally agree with him. You don't want to eat sugary foods every day, all day, because your body is gonna ask for savory foods. So your body is gonna ask for umami foods. This is the fifth savor we add in our amygdalas. I don't, excuse me my ignorance, in our pupils, whatever they call it. Taste is bad, taste is bad. Yeah. Yeah, this is a fifth favor. And meat, this is the one example of umami savor food. So meat, organs are kind of sweet, so they are gonna give you the extra little bit of carbohydrates intake, just what you need on a day, not a lot that most people do. And yeah, this is what you have to do.
Detox, not for the faint of heart.
Hi guys, I have 2 whole duck flowers right here, soaked up. Wish me luck. I'm going to blend them and drink them.
Wow. And he was telling the other guy that he shouldn't eat raw meat because it goes against your senses. And now he does this, which is insanely counterintuitive.
So review on that, I feel really good. I felt really good after doing that. That was about a
What? You were vomiting? What?
week ago. I could take
It's
the
totally
biggest,
counterintuitive.
deepest rest of my life, but the detox was nowhere near as intense as the
Yeah, you may be detoxing from the flowers because they are really, really poisonous. That's what you felt after. Do you feel that after eating raw meat? No, you feel super good.
first time I did it. The first time I did it, I was dying on the toilet and I was throwing up for like 6 hours. This time I did it, I took twice as much, and I
6 hours, that's really, really extreme food poisoning. Wow. Does he not understand what he's doing? Or how contradictory this is?
I only was like, I was throwing up, that's it, but it was like, it wasn't vomit, it was just like mucus. Like I was like throwing up mucus. I got a ton of mucus on my lungs. I was taking the biggest breaths of my life after that. But the reason why my detox was not as intense this time, after only taking, even though I took twice as much, is because I've been a raw vegan for a minute now, so I don't really have anything.
Your body can get adapted to any kind of stress. If you poison yourself with the same substances over and over again, your body will not react the same way after a while. That's not a good thing. Adapting to something poisonous isn't beneficial for your health.
In my stomach that is gonna upset it that much. Like I like you shouldn't have to constantly detox. You know what I mean? Like you only need to do it once, and then if you keep having to do it, then you're doing something wrong.
He did leave a comment on one of his videos saying, I want you all to know I love you all, I have no hate towards anyone who eats meat. It's mainly for my own spiritual reasons that I stopped. You can still be completely healthy eating meat or raw meat.
Do you support veganism? Yeah, of course I do. I'm literally a vegan. I'll tell you why. It's because I can never bring myself to off an animal like that. Ask yourself, if this was you right here, would you be able to pull the trigger? Because I know that
If he isn't able to do it, then he shouldn't eat meat. It makes sense. Slaughtering animals is the best feeling on earth. There's nothing better.
100% would not be able to. I would start like crying for real. So why would I pay someone else to do it for me? That's like the same thing as hiring a hitman to kill somebody for you. You're asking.
Yeah, it's true, basically. And again, you're not made for it. At least that's what you would say. In reality, you're in a different state right now. And that's why you wouldn't be able to do it.
Do I support the vegan diet? I do not, because it's terrible for you. Everything in nature has a food source that's meant for them. And for humans, that's fruit. It's not soybeans, it's not tofu, it's not seitan, it's fruit.
I would like to see him find fruits in...
Okay, fruits with meat. Okay, that would be a good combo. But only fruits, it's definitely a big no. I told you the reasons why. So only fruit with meat. And yeah, that's it. Just not to consume lots of it. Prioritize fruits that are low oxalates, that are less poisonous. So that's why you have to do your research. And if you eat intuitively, you're gonna notice that you're not going to need so much fruit. So it's not, you don't have to do research. What fruit is bad? What fruits have high amount of oxalate or high amount of pesticide? No, because you're gonna eat in a little amount that's not going to affect you. And yeah, that's it.
Winter or even spring before it gets warm. Most of the year, really, in a lot of climates. Food of slaves, I agree. Food of peasants, it depends on how you define peasants. Peasants used to live better lives than people today. Food of kings, maybe some kings out there nowadays see this kind of food, but they eat better food. Food of the gods. Man-made fruits only here. Would the gods be eating something that's man-made or natural? There's natural fruits out there, but this is not it. Therefore saying that it's the food of gods makes no sense, just purely logically.
So a lot of people ask me what led to me becoming a fruitarian in the first place. I used to eat raw meat and drink raw milk. I was one of those guys. And that's just because I saw people doing it on the internet, and I was like, okay, I want to try that. And I tried it, and I didn't get sick. So I was like, all right, that's something I could do now. And so I was doing that. I wasn't really strict about it. I would still eat like some cooked foods like rice and potatoes and fruit. I've never not ate fruit. I've always ate fruit. And
I've never heard of anybody who ate raw animals, who drank their blood, ate fruits when they wanted something sweet, and then went vegan, started eating a plant-based diet, or went back to eating a standard diet.
then eventually I got into the spirituality and the esotericism and whatnot. I'd be meditating, and I noticed on the days where I wasn't eating as much meat and I would only have dairy or whatnot, my meditations were a lot more intense. And then I was just like, all right, I'm gonna try becoming a vegetarian. I did that, and then eventually I was like, let's see if it gets more intense without the dairy, and I did that, and it did. And then eventually I was like, all right, I'm a vegan now. And then I started getting into the more esoteric books about history and whatnot, and like the fall of human consciousness and how all the history we're taught in schools was made up lie and whatnot. And then I was like, all right, I want to try to activate my light body. So I became a raw vegan, and I was doing all the qigong, the yoga and stuff. And eventually I just got less and less hungry, and I got to the point where I cut out vegetables, which is when I became a fruitarian. And now I'm just eating less and less every day. Like I used to eat 3 times a day, then 2 times a day, now I'm at once a day. And
That's interesting because that means that you're consuming yourself. You're actually eating raw meat and fat.
yeah, that's about it.
So I have a reason why you're eating now once a day. It's because of that discomfort you're feeling first thing maybe in the day when you were consuming fruits. Yeah, you don't want to feel bloated all day, so that's why you want to feel bloated once, so that's why you jump to one fruity meal a day. It's understandable. Nobody wants to feel discomfort all day. Yeah, in a long run, it's not gonna work for you because I tried it. As you, I did it 1 meal a day, only fruits. At first you feel good, then progressively everything goes downhill. Your energy, your mood, your mind declines little by little. Your mood turns deeply, nasty things that happens when you consume only fruits. And that's the reason you consume once a day this kind of man-made foods.
It's kind of just a gradual process.
That's never going to last. You cannot eat so little and only fruits. It's impossible. He has been doing it for a few months now.
There wasn't really one specific source or anything that I got it from. And a lot of people are like, did you go vegan for the animals? No, I did not, but I eventually became that because after a while of not eating meat, and you're like, oh, frick, bro, I'm literally eating a dead carcass. Like, you're eating a dead body, like a rotting carcass. It's actually disgusting. And I don't even believe in germ theory. It's gross. It's animalistic. And
yes, it's animalistic, exactly. Is that bad? Is it bad to be an animal? Animalistic just means natural, because if you would call any animal animalistic, you would just be saying that they are acting naturally. That's it, meaning that you really admit that it's natural for us to eat animals. Otherwise, you wouldn't call it animalistic, you would call it artificial.
this is how I make my own ranch dressing. Everything is
Again, a meat, savory food fetish obsession, the crazy cravings on a raw vegan diet especially.
Get rid of the ranch dressing and you're gonna find this salad very disgusting, believe me, because I used to do my salads, but it was impossible to do it without dressing, without these creams that that's gonna give the salad an extra flavor because it contains fat, but it's the kind of bad fat you don't want to consume, you know? It comes from plants and yeah, it mimics the fat that we have to consume it, but it's not real fat. It's it comes from vegetables. It's okay to consume it. The problem when you consume it on a daily basis, it is bad. It is bad. On a daily basis, it's bad for your health. So that's why you have to prioritize animal fats. It's impossible to consume it with avocado. Just plain salad with vegetables. It's a torture. That's a shame.
100% raw and 100% vegan.
Okay.
He has some really strange spiritual beliefs or whatever you want to call them.
Guys, we are on 1 meal a day now of just fruit, and I feel absolutely insane, dude. I cannot stop walking around. I can't stop just being.
That's because your body is really stressed. You want to hunt. You want to eat meat. But because of the brainwashing, all of the so-called...
Yeah, it makes sense. Your body is asking for food. That's why you're nervous. You are walking around without any aim. Because your body intuitively wants to hunt, to find real food. And that's why, and hence the nervous. So the nervousness inside you is insane. To put an instance, a lion after eating meat is not nervous. It's just resting in a peaceful state without any worries. This is the feeling you have to feel, not nervous. You feel that you have a lot of energy, but it's inside of your body, your adrenalines that ask you to eat real food. So that's why you move like crazy. It's not the energy that mom made fruits give you, and so no. You are gaslighting yourself. That's good for you, but it's not.
spiritual beliefs, you do not do it. You're living counterintuitively.
Up in Adam.
Yeah, that's the word. He's living counterintuitively.
I'm so locked in. I put my meals on my story every day, just fruit.
He did become a lot unhealthier in these few months. Pretty drastic change.
Yes, I told you. Little eating once a day, only fruit. It's starving, literally.
Mono meals, 1 meal a day, usually around 5 or 6 p.m. And I'm not even hungry today. I don't even think I'm gonna eat today. I am literally becoming a solar powered human being. Don't be surprised if my skin turns green and I start photosynthesizing. I might just turn into a tree. I'm just a green man. Guys, you gotta appreciate the little things, like dirt. Look at all this dirt. Dirt has such a bad reputation for no reason. It's like, oh, this thing is dirty. What's so bad about that? There's dirt everywhere. I love dirt. Just get a face full of that dirt. Get it in your mouth. Get it all up and everything. If you're not happy in life, it's because you don't have enough dirt.
He's right about the earth. I've made a video about this. People call it dirt, as if it's dirty.
Yeah, I get because yeah, the media find ways to be hooked up when watching videos. So this is a good example. Yeah, but I would be very concerned about it if he's doing it on a daily basis when there is no cameras in front of him. If he's doing only for the video, it's entertaining, but it gets serious when he's doing it when there's no camera. So he must be traumatized. He must be having serious mental issues. Yeah, who knows?
The video is a bit ridiculous, which is why people won't take him seriously, even though the message overall is actually correct.
If you get sunburn, chances are you are unhealthy, guys. I am ethnically 100% Irish, who are known to be the palest people on earth. And I am out in 10 plus UV for hours on end every single day, and just doing this. And I do not get sunburn one single bit.
This is a typical sign of starvation. Raw vegans a lot of times experience this because their bodies don't function anymore the way they should. They cannot create inflammation in response to burning, which is why they will still have sunspots, the freckles. You can see that there's some damage in most of his videos. The sun is really, really good for you, but only if you live intuitively, which he doesn't. Then you're in the sun, it's awesome, one of the best feelings on earth. And when you have enough and you right away feel it, you go into the shade again. If you're in the sun all the time as a raw vegan, you don't even notice what's going on.
I just get a ton of freckles and I get tan. The things you eat and the things you put on your skin that allow you to get sunburn. Most people are wearing plastic clothing, which is toxic. They're rubbing soap all over their skin, which is toxic. They're using sunscreen, which is toxic. And the things you eat, most unhealthy foods in general, the biggest one being seed oils. I cannot count how many people I know that stop getting sunburn once they cut out seed oils. I met this Swedish couple with kids at a farmer's market a few days ago.
You won't stop getting sunburned if you cut out seed oils, obviously, because the inflammation is a natural response of your body, but you will simply not burn as quickly, maybe. It will not be as intense.
Psilocybin mushrooms are one of the most potent medicines in the entire world. They can literally change your life. Let me just give you
Toxic mushrooms are medicine. Interesting. Also counterintuitive.
one of my stories. I was addicted to vaping ever since I was like a sophomore in high school. So I was addicted to vaping for probably 4 years. And one time I just took mushrooms with my friends and I had my vape. And I've been trying to quit and I just never was able to. But the mushrooms were speaking to me and they were like, if you smash your vape right now, you'll never vape it.
Actually, you can believe that because the mushrooms are so toxic that they make you delusional, they make you hallucinate also oftentimes. The reason they do that is because in nature, that's how they protect themselves. Meaning that in nature, if you would eat these mushrooms, seeing as you wouldn't be in your apartment or house, you would be hallucinating, seeing things, an animal would come and eat you. It's almost guaranteed death if you eat something so poisonous in nature. But nowadays, these guys all use drugs in their houses and then they are protected from nature, from the wild. But in the wild, it's a death sentence.
Again,
Something interesting about mushrooms I've learned today. I can't realize that mushrooms, when it comes to mushrooms, eating mushrooms, you have to be aware. You just better not touching it. Otherwise, as God is said, you're gonna find yourself with hallucinations, and if you're in nature, an animal is likely to eat you, so it's better not to eat it. Yeah, I get you. You buy it from the supermarket and it's safe, but it still contains some kind of poison. Yeah, it's difficult to get poisoned by mushrooms because they are safe, they are regulated, and so on, blah blah blah. But when you are in nature, so you are in the forest, um, even though you are an expert or you are an enthusiast about mushrooms, it's better not to eat it when you grab it from the forest, you know. Now you can be intoxicated. And yeah, it's not good for the human consumption in general, but it's happened to you to consume it. For in my case, mushrooms, um, it's okay for me. They don't cause me any problem. But again, if you are in nature and you want to eat it because you are hungry, not eat it.
And I listened and I did, and I smashed it. And
Yes, you went from one addiction to the other.
I never even fiended to hit a vape again after that. Like, I had no withdrawal.
Yeah, that's a problem. The majority of people that make extreme diets as he's in a only fruit diet. Yeah, the majority of them goes from an addiction to another addiction, you know. Yeah, he was vaping a lot. Right now he's addicting he's addictive to the sugar, to the main fruit. He just want to consume it, and that's bad.
No hard quitting. I was just done.
Yes, you moved on to a harder drug.
I didn't even want to. I didn't have any kind of addiction symptoms. They just completely rewired my brain and cured me of this addiction.
Well, you could call it that because then you're addicted to that. Yes, it makes sense. It rewires your brain. Rewires.
If you truly care about your health and you drink alcohol, you do not truly care about your health. There is no balance when it comes to something that was never even supposed to be in your proximity, let alone in your body. It's poisonous. Alcohol is poison. That's why all your alcohol
The mushrooms are also poison.
is 4.5, 6%, 15% alcohol. It says it on the bottle. Because if you drank actual 100% alcohol, you would die because it's poisonous. And that's what being drunk
Yes, and if you would eat too many of the mushrooms, you would also die.
is. You drink just enough of this poison to feel the effects of it without dying.
Yeah, same with the mushrooms. Exactly the same.
And if you do drink enough of it, you will either throw up the poison or you will die. Oh yeah, honest accountability type shit right now for real. I've not been looking my best recently. I've kind of fallen back into my addiction of smoking weed and it is completely ruined.
Yes, and then you need to wonder, why do you want to smoke weed? What does it mean? It means that you want to feel different. Why do you want to feel different? Because you don't feel good. I've never heard of anybody who drinks blood, eats liver, brain from healthy animals, and then also wants to smoke weed or use any kind of drugs. Simply because you already feel as good as you could possibly feel. You're on a fruitarian diet, you starve yourself. That feels horrible. Probably one of the worst feelings on earth. And then you want to feel different, and that's why weed is the answer for you, which will also only poison you and in the end make you feel even worse. A lot of people end up landing in a psychiatry when they smoke weed.
All my grind, my focus, every aspect of my life, for real. I've been sleeping like shit, like I've been waking up 3 times every night and going back to bed. I've been just a bum. I've spent all my free time just doom scrolling on reels on my phone. I'm not doing the meditations or the yoga. I'm not doing any kind of physical activity. And I've noticed it's taking a toll on.
Okay, guys, this is the end of the video. As we can see, this man ended up even worse when he started. Yeah, because he was not feeling good, he was feeling depressed, he was feeling devastated. And yeah, this is the end of the video. This is a lesson you have to learn if you've been going through this, and you don't have to come back eating, becoming a fruitarian, because there is no need to do it. Okay, guys, peace out, bye bye.